Hi, everybody. Welcome to the DRF Breeding Report. I'm Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo, and this week we're going to discuss some promising Del Mar babies. Nicole, we're going to begin with a live Del Mar maiden race on August the 20th. Bob Baffert dominated. What else is new? Let's take a look at Zatter and St. Patrick's Day. It looked like they worked in company leading up to the debut. Zatter got the better of St. Patrick's Day. Considering their respective pedigrees, do you think this was basically due to the 6 furlong distance, and when they eventually stretch out down the road, St. Patrick's Day will get his day of revenge?
Well, you know what? This was a maiden race that everybody was talking about because it did mark the debut of St. Patrick's Day, a full brother to Triple Crown winner American Pharoah. What else can you say about that pedigree? But you know what? I do think that Zatter is a nice horse in his own right, who probably, will run well going at least a little bit longer. He's by Midnight Loot, who, of course, we know is a champion sprinter. But Bob Baffert also trained Midnight Loot, and he thought that son of his dual classic winner, Real Quiet, was going to be a classic type horse, was built to go longer, and then he had throat surgery early in his career that kind of hampered his distance ability. So, we always talk about those hidden turf sires. I think Midnight Loot is an example of a hidden distance sire who might sire foals that want to run a little bit longer than their sire was able to go. Certainly some of his best runners to date have been kind of elongated sprint one-turn types. You've got Malibu winner Shaking It Up and Acorn winner Midnight Lucky out there. But he has had some good longer distance runners like Queen's Plate winner Midnight Aria. I do think Midnight Loot can get you at least a middle distance horse and some distance ability on the bottom side of Zatter's pedigree as well. He's out of a Dixie Union mare who's a half to Bluegrass winner Mamba, and it's the family of Kentucky Oaks winner Plum Pretty. A lot of interesting things in this pedigree.
And that Dixie Union mare is also foaled a stakes place turf sprinter named Laxfield Road. So there is a lot of interesting ability here, turf, route, sprint. Zatter is sold for $160,000 as a yearling, showed that big speed as we saw, 84 buyer speed figure. Midnight Loot stood the 2017 breeding season for a $20,000 stud fee at Hill and Dale. And as for St. Patrick's Day, I don't think he lost anything in defeat, catching a sharp workmate and stablemate in Zatter. This is a horse that I'm sure will continue to improve, and as the distances increase, I think we're going to see St. Patrick's Day show a little more.
Oh, very much so. I mean, no two horses are the same, but consider that even American Pharoah needed a race to get his feet under him. A lot of runners from this family don't win first time out, and I do think St. Patrick's Day will improve with the experience by Pioneer of the Nile, who of course can sire a good 2-year-old who can train on. A lot of nice runners in the family. Of course, another full sibling is the grade 1 place juvenile American Cleopatra, and I do think there's a lot of upside for St. Patrick's Day.
Pioneer of the Nile stood the past breeding season at Windstar for a $110,000 stud fee. He's sired, of course, Classic Empire this year. Gas Station Sushi. Usually not very good, Nicole, but very good in his career debut on the track, August the 6th at Del Mar. Let's take a look right now. This horse showing excellent speed, pressed the pace, and then just keeps on keeping on. He wins by 3.5, solid 85 buyer speed figure for Richard Baltus. A lot of sprint influences in this pedigree.
Oh, very much so. You look at this pedigree and it's bred for speed. Into Mischief, leading juvenile sire, a lot of precocity out of a stakes winning 5-star day mare, more speed there. Family of several sprint type horses, including grade 1 Vosburg winner Taste of Paradise, who was a game and close runner up in the Breeders' Cup Sprint. And yeah, this one I'm looking at for that juvenile sprint ability for sure.
$90,000 yearling sold up for $240,000 back in March. He's by Spendthrift Stallion Into Mischief, who stood for $75,000 in his Practical Joke won the H. Allen Jerkins Memorial last week sprinting at Saratoga. Gas Station Sushi, very promising debut effort for Richard Baltus. Soul Street, another Bob Baffert first-time starter, got it done. Let's take a look at this son of McLean's Music. He runs away and hides from this field to the tune of an 84 buyer speed figure. Lots of sprint on the bottom. Do you think this son of McLean's Music will be able to stretch out?
This one, not so much. Of course, McLean's Music has a classic winner in his first crop with Preakness winner Cloud Computing, but McLean's Music better known for that very quick debut effort when, he ran away and hid out of a stakes placed mare with a lot of speed on the bottom side of the family. This one, I think, is suited for kind of like those elongated sprint distances. Very productive family, though. The dam's now produced 5 winners from 7 starters.
$85,000 yearling Soul Street. Good speed in that career debut. All eyes were on the $1 Million Baby, Tatters to Riches, for trainer Jeff Mullins earlier in the Del Mar meet. On July the 29th, we're going to watch Tatters to Riches, and this is a really nice performance considering he is by Union Rags. There's a lot of distance, turf on the bottom, really professional performance. This is an exciting prospect, and when you look at his pedigree, you have to think of higher class races going longer distances.
Very much so. Union Rags did so well with his first 2-year-olds last year. A couple of Grade 1 winning fillies in his first crop. No doubt that contributed to this one's $1 million price tag at OBS April. Union Rags, we know for winning the Belmont Stakes, definitely imparting stamina on his runners. But he was a pretty good 2-year-old himself. Multiple graded winner, of course, including the Grade 1 Champagne at Belmont. So he's injecting that juvenile ability and precocity. The dam is by AP Indy, more stamina ability here. She's produced a Group 2 winner in Argentina, and she's a half to Canadian champion turf horse Interpol. Out of a turf stakes winner. It's the family of turf horses like Del Mar Show, Walks Like a Duck. A lot of stamina in the family, a lot of turf in the family, but this one obviously runs well on the dirt. Headed for the Grade 1 Del Mar Futurity on closing weekend at Del Mar, and this one, Tatters to Riches, just a really impressive horse on debut.
Big pinhook here, $60,000 yearling selling for $1 million. In April, a half to a Group 2 stakes winner in Argentina. Tatters to Riches, tuning up for the Del Mar Futurity and tuned up with a big bullet 5 furlongs in 59 2/5 on August the 29th. So there you have it. 5 promising Del Mar babies to watch in the near future, many of them headed for stakes races. You can follow Nicole on Twitter at DRF Russo, and you can keep an eye out for all of the latest breeding news and notes at DRF Breeding on Twitter. For Nicole Russo, I'm Dan Illman. We'll see you next week on the DRF Breeding Report.